I'm like Thomas. I don't want to hear about your list and you 19 and you got Bill Russell in your shit. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you don't know them. Okay, you ain't seen one sky hook in your life. All right, stop it.
So I think this is on the show with Michelle Beadle, Marcus Cousins, Chandler Parsons. They asked him about LeBron versus MJ again.
This is what I don't understand about your era, right? You guys are playing with arguably the greatest player to ever play. And excuse me when I say this, but y'all treat him like he ain't nothing. And I'm talking
wow.
Right? Y'all act like, well, y'all instead of pubbing y'all era up, y'all go back and say our era was the greatest. Oh, Michael Jordan was the greatest. Nobody could ever be greater than Michael Jordan, right? Okay, and then you turn around, but in your era, LeBron James sitting there, he holding every single basketball record. I mean, every single one of them. And you're looking at a Kevin Durant and you're looking at a Steph Curry, but then when y'all say who the greatest, y'all talk about the guy that gave you some shoes and, gave you some warm-ups.
Fair.
On this show, for the record, me, Boogie, and Lou will all agree that LeBron's the greatest.
No, I'm an MJ person, but Isaiah, I'm 50 years old. Like that's what made me love basketball was Michael Jordan. I'm not just going to change my mind. He could be second.
I understand what he's saying, and most of the guys out in the media today, we grew up watching or being told MJ was the greatest. Media today, from the era of MJ, which you're talking about me, you're talking about Cousin, we're anywhere from 48 to 35. So MJ was, our GOAT. Now, the problem with the MJ LeBron issue is this. The media who watched MJ, who covered MJ, are still today as prominent voices. And they are prominent voices that pushes their love for MJ. In the 80s, in the 90s, we only were told all the positives of everyone's basketball game. Within the last 2 years, we're finding out Magic Johnson lost these many championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost this many times in a championship. We never knew those records because we weren't told those, right? It was only positivity over our superstars then. Around 1998, it's been a negative push against the stars, right? Anybody who has that next MJ title, you point out the negatives in their game on why they can't be MJ. So when it comes to talking about greatness, you have a guy who resume as pushed as excellence. Because it's 6 final appearances, 6 championships. So he's 6-0 in the finals, right? All the times he didn't make it to the finals, got put out in the first round, they don't exist. They don't count against his legacy. Because when he got to the big dance, what did he do, right? That's all that matters. If he got to the big dance starting at 28 years old, anybody who gets to the big dance before 28 and you fail because you're not ready yet, that is a knock against your career, right? So the Tatums, the LeBrons, the Lucas, they got to the championship at 22, 23. They lost early. That's a knock against you. You can never be MJ because when MJ got there, he never lost. So there's a lot of things that goes against the younger players. But like Isaiah Thomas said, you don't do a good job pumping up your GOAT. You're too busy looking in the past. But I'm sorry. The past can't be as great as you will want it to be, because when you take the top 5 on each position, do the guys of those eras still have those spots, right? If I say top 5 point guards, how many people from history are still in those thrones, right? If you have Magic at 1, who's number 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? All the way to 10. And shooting guard, MJ, where's 2, 3, 4, and 5? What eras are they coming from, right? If MJ is the only person left at shooting guard from his era, his 2 eras, it lets you know the competition of those eras. Same thing with 3, same thing with 4, same thing with 5. Yes, the golden era will be, and I'm sorry to bust your bubble, the first time you fell in love with the sport. That is the golden era, when you fell in love. So when people say the 80s is the golden era, it's because that's when they got to watch it live on television, right? If you ask people who went to games, they're gonna say Dr. J's era, because Dr. J was a aura of himself, going in there, doing the things, he's packing them gyms. People had to wear suits to go watch him, right? Like when he came in the gym, it was like church. You had to be suited and booted to watch Dr. J, right? Live in person. When it came on TV in the 80s and they got to see it for the first time, that was their first introduction to basketball on that type of scale, and that's when they fell in love with it. That is the golden era. The golden era for me was the summer of 92. It was the Olympics. They were pushing the Olympics. Magic Johnson just came back, Bird, Michael Jordan. They started pushing that gear. I had damn near every USA jersey, plus the women's jersey. Like, the USA basketball is when I fell in love with basketball. I watched basketball, but I fell in love with it from USA basketball, and then my first favorite player was Penny Hardaway. So you can't tell me nothing bad about Penny Hardaway, because there was nothing bad about Penny Hardaway being pushed to me. So what Isaiah Thomas is saying in a nutshell is you have LeBron James in your era, who's done played through 2 decades of basketball, halfway through a third era of basketball, and you're treating him like he ain't shit. It's truth. You talk to him like he's not been here doing this for a long time. All the records he's broke, you use it as he's just padding his stats. I don't give a fuck what you call it. Someone's trying to stop him from doing it. You have Kevin Durant. You have Jokic. You have Steph Curry. This is who we have. Our era, when we played, we have Allen Iverson, right? We have Kobe Bryant. The people who love Kobe Bryant to the teeth, they played with him. They played against him. All those people, they have him number 2 all time, 2 or 3. Some even have him 1 over MJ. That was the era they grew up on. So the LeBron era, through the decades, you guys have the loudest voice now. He will be the king if y'all say he's the king. You watched him. I don't know how you fucking 23, 25 years old talking about MJ. You didn't see him. You didn't watch him. And if you did see him, you didn't know what you was looking at. I'm 44. I just told you 92 is when I fell in love with it. Meaning I was a teen, just a teen, 10. Do you think I know what I was watching? If you think you at 10, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, if you think you know what a GOAT is, ask a 13-year-old right now who their GOAT is. I guarantee you they about to say some stupid shit that you're going to say is stupid. And you can't tell them they're wrong. That was us too. Penny Hardaway was my GOAT until I seen Kobe Bryant dunk and win the dunk contest, February 7th. GOAT. Flex. That's my GOAT. He was number 2 all time. Nigga ain't played no games yet. He scored less than 200 points for his career. He's the second best player all time. We go off of how somebody makes us feel when we're younger, right? Right now, if you ask a young kid who they GOAT is, 13, 14, it's going to be Ja, Steph. It's not going to be no MJ, LeBron, of any of that stuff, right? Our criteria is jaded by our feeling, right? We're going to use the stats that we use. And it's unfair because when you're looking at LeBron James, you're looking at him for his flaws, not his greatness. And that's the bad part about the GOAT debate, because you only want to point out the flaws. And I always say, if you're going to have that GOAT debate, have it like this. Jordan fans, you talk about Jordan. LeBron fans, you talk about LeBron. I don't need a Jordan fan pointing out what LeBron can't do or what he didn't do. That's irrelevant. You have no voice on this topic. You talk about your guy, he talks about his guy. It's just like a fucking job interview, right? When you go into the job interview, you talk about yourself. You don't go out there and say, hey, man, the man out there, the person who's coming next, and you start talk about what makes you great. That's how you're supposed to be talking about these debates. I don't want to hear you talk about my player. I got him. So I agree with Isaiah Thomas.
It's funny that you said, you know, the younger generation is going to pick certain players from their era, because there's also another type of younger person. Isaiah Thomas talks about this in the extended clip. He says there's going to be people from the 80s and don't know why.
15 years from now, when the next generation come along and they talk about how great LeBron James was and how great Kevin Durant was and Steph Curry was, it won't even be a conversation or a debate. Your generation right now is the only, y'all say we hating on y'all hating on yourself. Every time we ask you who your top 10 is, you list 10 guys from the 80s.
This is
You
fair.
don't list none of your guys.
In our defense, not on this show. I think me and Lou will for sure. We get shit on for repping our generation more so than that
I'm just
generation.
saying, I'm not going to put all y'all in that generation
Yeah.
in the top 10, but damn, you know, it's a couple of y'all in the top 10.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree.
Because the mainstream media, it's the information that's being presented to you. It's mainstream media who they watched when they were younger, who they covered when they were 20 years old, 25 years old, and that's what basketball was to them. So when you're talking about the 80s basketball, right? You remember there was 90s, there was 2000s. When you talk about 80s, this is the first time I get to watch it on TV. So when I'm watching it on TV, I'm listening to the announcers tell me what I'm watching. Oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh my God, this is the player that ever lived. There's nothing like it. Those. I wanna be like Mike. Like, people think the Michael Jordan commercial in the Gatorade push is what sold MJ shoes. MJ shoes in 84, 85. Those are the pinnacles of what started MJ. The Jordan 1s, way before he won any accolade. The Jordan 1s. The D-boys love the Jordan 1s. Right? So when you're talking about the history of the game, who is telling the story? The people who started the history of the 80s. They're still here today. So when they say, here's my top 10, and they give you the top 10. Oh, I got, this and Oscar Robertson and this. Hey, God bless them. Cool. And I always say this, my top 10 starts when I watch the game. So my top 10 has Magic, because I'm LA fan since, right? I'm at Magic, I'm in 92, right? I had to watch it. Jordan, you got LeBron, you got Kobe, you got Shaq, you got Duncan, AI, Curry. It's when I put my eyes on the game and I watched it with my own eyes. All y'all are doing are looking at stats, and the stats is telling you this guy's better. Oh, look at Allen Iverson's numbers. He shot this. The nigga was getting quadruple teamed. We don't know. You can't name right now his consistent starting 4 players on his team. I can tell you don't, because I played against him and we didn't know. We didn't have no scouting report on the other 4 players. Focal point, number 1, Allen Iverson on the catch. 2, Allen Iverson on the move. 3, Allen Iverson once he gets the ball and put the ball on the floor. We're going to double, we're going to trap, we're going to meet him at the rim. Hey, listen, the fact that he actually scored 32 a game should be put in the top of the top, because all 5 players had to guard him. every time he touched the ball, and he still averaged 32. We had a zone to prevent him from coming in the lane, and he still came in the lane. So my top 10 starts when I watched it and understood it. So the fact that some of you guys list, you come up with it and you just look at his, oh, Will, look, this is what he did. Cool. You got any film? Are you watching the game? Right? Huh? You do the mic and drill. You don't know why the mic and drill is the mic and drill. Because I can tell you right now, let's just talk about it here. And this is no knock on it. But I can tell you right now, I'm pretty sure the mic and drill was more of, hey, big fella, you can't make a layup. You might want to practice it. It wasn't because he was dominant at what he was doing. Let me give you his nicknames. His nickname is Mr. Basketball, Mike and the Magnificent, the Monster, Big Mike. Now, I'm pretty sure 6'10", 245 is very, very dominant in the 1948. And the fact that you shot 40% for your career lets me know you couldn't hit shit. Let's just be honest with it. You shot 40% being the biggest person on the court. The mic and drill is, hey, you sorry ass, get your ass down there and practice layups. And he's sitting there every morning trying to work on this layup package because he didn't have it. I don't want to hear about, I'm like Thomas, I don't want to hear about your list and you 19 and you got Bill Russell in your shit. You got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you don't know them, okay? You ain't seen one sky hook in your life, all right? Stop it. Move on. I can tell you right now, and it's weird, I don't know anything that was created in the 80s that's still popping today besides Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Everything else is, we done moved the on. We done found better, right? I mean, we can say Tetris, but the Tetris we got today don't look like the same Tetris that was created back then, okay? Your Xbox don't work no more, right? Them big ass phones, them dope dealers, no more, right? Whatever 1980 Ferrari you have, God damn it, it don't work no more. I'm pretty sure 80 miles per hour was fast as shit back then. It was, woo, that Ferrari that's a Honda today, fam. Move on. We have the best athletes. We have the best today. I mean, Dominique Wilkins' athleticism was ridiculous that he was doing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the moves Michael Jordan was doing in his aerial movement, I'm not gonna lie. It's impressive. It's impressive. But again, support your era.
Let me ask you this last question. So I think it does, but I want to know if you do. Do you think that it hurts how like a younger viewer watches the game because they've been hearing, I don't know, this commentary or this analyzer continuously push like, oh nah, Pete Maravich, Jerry West. So now they go into the game like looking at it with the lens of like, oh nah, Pete Maravich is top 10. This guy can't be top 10. He's not what I've been told.
Yeah, like that's what I said. Most of our basketball information was given to us by non-basketball people. It's like storytellers. Remember, media is storytelling. If you're listening to it on the radio, right? The person that you're listening to is a storyteller. What he's watching, he's giving it to you so you can be entertained. When we're talking about the sport, from a writer, from an ESPN, from whatever you got your information from, it's a narrative from their perspective, not necessarily reality. Reality is this. I can't tell you, I can watch a play because I played the game. I can see a coverage. Okay, all right, oh, you should have dropped right there. That should have been a double. But again, this is what I would do and what I was taught. Watching it, I can't tell you who messed up on this play. unless I know the game plan or the scouting report. So when you're talking about why is this guy taking this shot, he should get his team involved. And you're pushing that narrative. He's a ball hog. There's a thing called practice where shots are established. There's this thing called off the court, meaning we came to Miami, my teammates decided to go out, party till fucking 6 a.m. in the morning. We got a game and I took 40 shots. There's a reason they didn't have it today. They ain't taking it serious today. They wanted to party over play. There's a reason the game is played the way the game is played. And if you're not in the loop, meaning I don't want to hear you have sources, with your own eyes, are you listening to the coverage? Okay, they're going to drop, they're going to double, they're going to do this. They're going to let this guy score the ball. We don't want Steph Curry to shoot. We're going to allow Draymond Green to beat us. We don't believe Draymond Green is going to be able to score 34 points and beat us in a playoff game. So we're going to sag off of him and let him try it. When he does that and they win the game, when you say, hey, why didn't you cover Draymond Green? That was bad cover. That was our game plan. So when media is sitting at home, going through different games, and all they're doing is just looking at the stat sheet, giving their opinion on what happened, it's unfair. And I think that's why there's this media versus ex-NBA players kind of like clash, because we're giving the insight, but the problem is the mass majority of listeners are so used to listening to clickbaiting debates that they don't want to hear breakdown type of stuff of learning, because old media couldn't do that. They couldn't tell you the ins and the outs of the game. All they can say is, who's better, Jordan or LeBron? Jordan or Kobe or LeBron. If Shaq played in this era, how would he play? That's it. So they just give you the scenario, they debate, and then let you guys run with it. So some of the information that you were taught is kind of like you're looking at it from a wrong lens.
Okay. I remember this one stems off of perks like back and forth with RJ, and it stems off trade a little bit. But I'll play the clip.
This is where we have a real problem with American athletes, right? On and off the floor. So we just watched Trae Young get traded to the Wizards. By the way, the Wizards had to give up absolutely nothing. No picks, no nothing. That was basically a salary dump for Trae Young. That was a salary dump for the Atlanta Hawks, basically. We're talking about a guy whose career average is like 25 and 10. The only other two people in the history of the NBA that averaged more assists than Trae Young, averaged more assists for their career, is Magic Johnson and John Stockton. Okay? And you trade him away without getting any picks. Moving to Ja Morant. The 3 years ago, we was just talking about Ja Morant being the face of the fucking league. Being the face of the league. And people, when we talk and we say, oh, hey, man, these European guys are coming in and they're taking over our league, they're not only taking over our league and setting the example on the floor, they're taking over our league and setting the example off the floor. Jokic, we don't have problems with him off the floor. Giannis, no problems with him off the floor. Luka, no problems whatsoever with him off the floor. But Wemby. Here we are with Wemby. But now it goes down the line. But now what's happening is we have so many in these next 3 to 4 years. They have so many franchise guys coming up through these drafts that teams are saying, I'm not fucking dealing with this bullshit. I'm not going to sit up here and have to max out a Ja Morant $200+ million and deal with this headache no more, when I can find me a promising young guy that's going to be a culture builder that's in the upcoming draft, or I could build around the guys that I got, Jaren Jackson Jr., coward. Now, I will say this. I agree with Shannon that he do need to go somewhere where he's not the 1-8, right? I'm thinking Minnesota.
Yo, last week it was highlighted that top 5 players in the NBA are international. And Perk is alluding to the fact that the American guys are giving issues on court and off. How do you feel about
Again, who's telling you this? Who's pushing this narrative? Right? If it's internationals running the league, there can be no next what? MJ. There's no way they're gonna make someone from international better than a Michael Jordan, right? So just by using that, you kind of cut off the whole MJ thing. But it's a true statement, but very narrow-minded statement. Because the best players in the league is international players, but what type of international players? The big ones, the bigs, right? The Jokic, the Giannis, right? Luka's all of 6'9", 6'10" at his size for a guard, right? Shea is an international. I mean, Shea is in Euro, but right. But where is Shea at? Closer to America, right? So he gets his game carved. The best 2 point guards from international basketball would be who? MVPs. Both came from Canada, right? The Euro point guard, the best Euro point guard in history is Luka first, Tony Parker second, right? From the 1, 2, and 3, Euro is lacking, right? Speed-wise, can't keep up with the athleticism, right? Their bigs, that's another story. Their 4s and their 5s are destroying the NBA, and you could have seen it a long time ago if you watched the game. When I came in the NBA and they had the old Vlade Divac in there, and he had passing skills. But when you talked about the Turkalukes, you're talking about the Dirt, what they possessed was guard-like talent at that size, meaning their bigs also learned how to dribble, pass, shoot, and do big man stuff. So the advantage for the European 6'9" and above is they are taught guard skills. So when they come over here, they have everything. They can play guard, they can play power forward, they can bring inside, outside game. So when you're saying they're destroying, it's the same 2-3 people. That's not all of them. When you say it's a takeover means more than fucking 6 people. There's fucking 450 people in the NBA. Stop saying the same 6 people. Those 6 people, yes, dominating. But when you're saying Euro takeover, meaning there has to be at least a 60 to 70% of them dominating the sport. Stop naming the same 3 or 4 players. That's just better than everybody. Jokic is just better than everybody. Luka, offensively, better than everybody. He possesses a different skill. Wemby, taller. He's not considered as dominant as the other ones, but we already see his projection. Giannis, his motor is better than everybody's. How he plays the game itself. Embiid, he was better than that. These are all big men that have the height and the skill level to dominate this game. And then you have so many few guards from your 1s, your 2s, and your 3s. And that's the sad part about it. Like, I think Shea is the last guard to win MVP, right, since James Harden, if I'm not mistaken, right? The big man, that's what Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid was doing was what the 90s was doing outside of MJ. They were dominating the game. But when you're talking about Euro as a whole group, I mean, come on.
I do start to hate this conversation because, like, for what it's worth, Giannis here versus Giannis in Europe, two different guys. Shea, like you said, has a lot of American influence being in Canada. Who knows what Jokic would have been? Ultimately, what I'm saying is when they got to the States, their games grew, expanded, and exploded. So why can't that be attributed to them coming to the United States?
Okay, so how Giannis plays, that's American basketball, right? I'm using all of athleticism and I'm getting to the game. Shea's trainer is American, where he has a American trainer. Same thing with Steve Nash. This is not like they're being bred over there and being taught the game. No, their skill level is being developed here. Jokic and Luka, they're coming from basketball backgrounds, right? So their parents, both men, parents played the game internationally. Who did they watch? Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, all those guys, and they gave them that skill. So when you get a Luka and you get a Jokic, the reason you can see the talent is someone has to recognize that ability and create a team around that person's skill level. That's how it works. Prime example, you have someone like Josh Giddey, playing with OKC. They have a Shea with the ball. We don't need Giddey with the ball. Shea is better with the ball. We don't need you. We replace you with just a straight defender and someone who can hit an open shot here and there, right? Not even the same talent of people. Some people would say, when it comes to skill level, very downgraded Caruso compared to Giddey. You put Giddey on a team where he gets to be the primary ball handler with his size and his skill level. He looks like a superstar player. So it's who you put around the talent. You have to be smart to understand what the Euro brings and how to bring out the best in them. It says more about the teams and the general managers than it says about Euro itself. If I want a Euro player, all I'm looking for is I'm going after first anyone who is 6'8" to 7 foot, because I know they're going to have real-rounded game. Every single one of them that we had in this game had a real-rounded game. Because with them, I cover a lot of spots, and then I build my team from there. But again, it's the bigs, man. Like if I say, all right, if you want to put your top 20 together, no one sounds smart after you say the top 6 or 7. Now, I don't know what the off the court has to do with your game.
I was just about to ask you that.
I can tell you this. I will call cap on the NBA and the owners don't want American players. How many of these guys are pushed into America media and American business? Jokic is, how many times did Jokic win the MVP? 3, 4, should be 5. No one talks about it, right? Is he on billboards everywhere across America? Or are you putting him on your cup? No, not whatsoever. Is he on Wheaties box? Is he on Fruit Pebbles? Does he got the Audemars watch? No, not marketable. Huh? What shoe company? Hey, 3-time MVP. Nike got him? Did Nike? Huh? How about Adidas? How about Puma? Huh? Reebok? No. Okay. Who else? Only Giannis has a signature Nike shoe. Out of all this dominance that they have, Giannis got Nike, and his shoe is big. He has the American game. Luka has Jordan brand. How's that doing? What signature shoe is he on? Where they come out at? Have anybody signed up for it? Do you sit in line for them? When is the next drop? When is the next colorway? Come on, what are we talking? I don't want to hear your fucking narratives, man. There's no, listen, and I'm just gonna say it. No American company is gonna push a Euro player knowing half of the year that person is not even in the States. And when he is in the States, it's during the work time. So I can't even, as a company, get to him to do promotions, videos, marketing. I have so much limited time because he's at work. Usually it's in the summer where we do all our campaigning to get ready for, I don't. American Express, I can't. And I'm sorry, that's just I don't know. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing. When we're talking about these athletes that nobody want to touch, how's Josh shoes selling? Huh? This bad enigma of a man. Hottest shoes on the street. Because I can tell you one thing, them kids do not care about your narrative. They don't care. They don't care what you're talking about. If Ja Morant and Jokic go overseas, outside of where Jokic is from, I guarantee you, them kids is gonna be surrounding Ja Morant. They're gonna be out there. All of Spain is gonna be Euro stepping. They're gonna be Euroing. All of Greece is gonna be doing they're gonna be doing that. No, I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Hottest shoes moving. Anthony Edwards, hottest shoes moving. Donovan Mitchell, hottest shoes moving. So obviously, what you saying and what those billion-dollar companies are saying is very two different narratives. I'm gonna follow the money. The money tells me who the people is following.
Yeah, I did go watch some high school basketball this weekend. Adidas team versus Nike team. Josh shoes, Ant shoes.
Sold out. Oh, that's another big reason why the Euro celebrityism is kind of like because the Euro don't have the grassroots of America, right? So when you say someone like Cooper Flag, right? You done watched him. He done built his fan base since he was the sixth grade, seventh grade, right? So he already has an establishment of fans that's been there from the beginning. LaMelo Ball, Zion, you have your fan base. The Euro, the only time you see them is when they come to the NBA. So they're building it for the first time in real time. So they're far behind when it comes to fan favoritism, you know.
Now, I will say this. Kendrick isn't the only one that thinks that there's something wrong with American basketball. Steve Nash has talked about the developmental issues with American basketball here in the USA.
It's frustrating.
That's the highlights. That's the mixtape. That's not the game. That's not what makes Donovan Mitchell great, right? It's being simple and playing the game. But this is about structure. You know, it's pay to play. It's pay to play in the States. You know, capitalism is wonderful. It's not great for player development. In Europe, to play, it's free. You go to your local club. It's subsidized more or less mostly by that community. So there's no hidden motives. There's no, we got a winner, the kid's leaving to the next club. Everyone's here for the long term to develop more or less. And so I think what you get is coaches. There's thousands of amazing coaches in the United States. It's not like there's only coaches in Europe. There's amazing coaches here, but they have a structure over there where you stick with your coaches more or less generally, and you learn to play the game the right way under the right pretenses. You know, here it's just been totally commercialized, and it makes it really hard for coaches to get their hands on a program or a kid and say, we are going to develop you the right way as a group to play skill basketball, team basketball, and play a variety of ways. Over here, it's very much like Swin said, get in your bag, learn the skills. Some skills coach is going to charge you by the hour at the park, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, it's gotten out of hand. Unfortunately, I don't want to take any money out of anyone's pockets, but it makes the structure really difficult to teach kids to play the long game.
Yeah.
Now, Gil, you raised 2 kids, and this structure that Steve Nash is saying is bad, is a problem with it. How do you feel about it?
You know what the problem, you know what the real problem is? When you're talking about overseas basketball and it's free, he said it neighborhood, right? How many people in the neighborhood are coming to tryouts? 15, 20 at most? Because that's usually it, right? I don't know how many people play basketball from Serbia, but how many do we have in the NBA? Giannis from Greece, how many do we have in the NBA? I don't give a what your structure is. If you're producing 1 out of every 10 million, I'm sorry. You just don't have enough people to sign up. You might as well do it for free. The reason they charge here is because of this. When a program and some coach decides he wants to start a team, you know how many sorry motherfucking kids is about to sign up? 400. 400 kids has a dream of playing in the NBA over here in every city, every area in the city. Meaning just in this area alone, we have over 30 teams. The problem is here, they love basketball more. So everybody wants to play. I gotta spend hours and hours teaching your sorry ass son how to run up and down. You know damn well your son can't play no basketball. He got 3 left feet, 2 down there and his goddamn his dominant arm, right? It's a foot the way he plays. But I gotta sit with this kid for years because you don't wanna watch him at home. We have a problem, and the problem is every kid wants to play basketball. But free basketball is the park. We have park leagues. Them kids don't want to play in the park. AAU is the pinnacle. AAU is your pro-am team. Right? You have all this in your pro. We have park league. Take your ass to the local park, sign up, and y'all sorry asses can run up and down with them cheap ass jerseys and your little oranges and apples your mother makes for you. Ours became a business because they realized everyone wants a chance to play. And when I played, AAU basketball was for the elite and the elite only. Meaning this, I started off in Park League basketball. And from Park League, someone seen me and they put me in a secondary league, which is called ARC, where majority of the better park players went here. From there, I got recruited to AAU. Now, in this area, there was only 2 teams for AAU. It was the Cavs, and then it was the Pumps. The Pumps had 3 teams. I ended up making the C team. Now with AAU, everyone tried out for the teams. If you didn't make it, you didn't make those tryouts, your parent didn't create a team. No, you had to go to another AAU team to try to make that team. So we only had 2 AAU teams. So if there was 400 kids, you're trying to make 2. If you didn't make it, you take your ass back to ARC or the Park League, and we'll see your asses next year. You couldn't buy your way into it. If you was a freshman on a AAU team, you played 0 minutes and you was the man. If you was a freshman on a AAU team in the 90s, you was the man. Damn near pro. You was a 5-star for sure. You didn't have to play no minutes. The fact that you made an AAU team, we're talking about 12 players. 12 players, that means it was all incoming seniors and juniors. You would probably have 2 sophomores and lucky to have a freshman. So if there was a freshman on the team, he was God in the AAU circuit. That's how AAU was produced back then. When you lost to a team, you couldn't wait to face that team at some other tournament or next year. Now there's fucking games every weekend. It became a business. It's a group of people who came from the East Coast that came all the way over here and turned AAU into a business. But let's not get it messed up. Let's not get it twisted. We are still dominating across the board until we have All-Star last year. How many Europeans made it? 6. There's 24. 6.
Yeah, a few.
6. 6 made it under the structure of it. And the reason that 6 made it is they had to do what? What did they have to do? Positionless. Positionless. They had to use positionless to do that. When it reverses and there's 18 Euros and 6 Americans, then we can have this conversation. You're about to have a all-star game that wants Euros versus Americans, but majority of the Euro team aren't even the star players on their teams. But because they're the best Europeans, they get to play. Come on, if we're gonna speak facts, we gotta speak facts. When we say who is the top 50 players, and you do the rundown, I don't care who you try to put first, second, third, fourth, fifth. There's going to be a point where there's going to be 20, 30 straight Americans before you get to the next European. The top Euros is doing their damn thing. You can't take none from them. We're lacking in that department right now. Our guards are holding on by dear life. Yes, they are. They're holding it up. Ant-Man is holding it up. He's trying. Curry's trying. Brunson's trying. Cade is trying. But them big men, God damn it, they doing it all. Can't do nothing about a Jokic and a Giannis and a goddamn Wemby. To be honest, the way it's structured right now, if everybody stay healthy, I can't tell you without cheating who the next American MVP is going to be. Unless I'm just cheating, just blatantly, just looking the other way and just voting for Ant-Man or Cade. And Wemby out here got 38. He averaging 38, 15 rebounds, 20 blocks, and I just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's the only way an American is going to win the MVP because we only have guard motion right now.
I think what does frustrate me in this conversation is that, like, sure, Steve Nash and Joe, they have their own opinion, fair, valid, but like, they don't have kids that are out there in the AAU scene seeing what's really out there to understand why it's pay to play, quote unquote. And so that's why, like, your perspective to me is different. Because you done had 4 kids now, this is just running them through this system that people think is so bad, but they've never experienced why it is the way it is. It is given judgment.
Hey, you ever seen, this is how great Euro basketball is, right? You ever seen USA basketball 15, 16, 17, 18, 19?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of any Euro teams? Huh? Whenever there's games, we see USA putting belt to ass, right? Belt to ass across the board. So you can say whatever you want about the American basketball, and we don't even use, and this is the weird thing, if you look at the players who play on USA basketball, it's never been the superstars that are created in the NBA. It seems more like you don't even want to make the USA basketball to be a real star in the NBA, which is some weird thing. It's like they pick and choose exactly the non-NBA superstar. Right? The Kevin Durant's, the Currys, the Donovan Mitchells, the Trae Young. Like, those guys didn't play on those teams, which is a little weird, but I've looked at the Euros. I like what I'm seeing. They are very, very Swiss. They are, what do they call it? Swiss knives? Yeah. That's who the European is, the Swiss knife. And if you put the ball in their hands and you give them a bunch of pieces, see that I think that's where we get confused at. With the European as the top dog, you give him 4 players, he will find all their strengths and make that into a team. American player, if your ass can't do nothing, you go sit your ass in that corner. It's 2K style. Corner, hey, you set the pick, you roll. If I don't score, set it again. I'm gonna drop like that. That's what it is. 2K. 5 out. Corner guys, sit in the corner. Don't move until I tell you the back door. But I can tell you right now, don't talk that Euro shit, because the USA basketball, them youths, they putting boot the ass. Y'all don't even want to talk about it. Y'all don't want to talk about it.
Yo, Freaky Z is at it again.
What are you doing now?
Work this fucking light.
What light? Oh, is that heat though, or just light?
Oh no, real heat comes out of that.
Oh, look at the boat.
That was Zion Williamson and new alleged baby mama, who is also an OnlyFans star, with that recording of his hotel motel Holiday Inn room. She also dropped a $2,000 Zelle transaction photo.
Wait, go back.
What his name on it? You can't avoid that one.
So before the 2000 went in, she only had $600 to her name. Okay.
Hey, that's not okay. Hold on now. It's the end of the month. OnlyFans transfer at the beginning. That's how the payout.
Let's just be honest here. She's a OnlyFans model with a total of $600 before his shit went in.
$608.
$608, almost $609.
Yes.
She need another job.
This is a young woman in question, but
That's her?
This is her.
Okay.
Not it's a BBL, but not his normal. What's wrong with him, man? What's going on with Zion?
I don't listen. I don't think. Listen, I'm going to talk to you directly, Zai. You look in that mirror, brother. If you don't want to look in the mirror, you look on Google or you look in your bank account. It'll show you who you are. Okay? Zion motherfucking Williams. Okay? Ain't no way you should be allowing these women to record anywhere near you. Not your house. There should be a rule that you have the power, the name, and the money to say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want to another star, right? Meaning if you meet a celebrity, like a singer, right, a rapper, you can say whatever you want. You can say, hey, leave your damn phone and your shoes outside. And guess what they're gonna do? Okay, daddy, let me turn my shit off. You don't let somebody who got $608.92 to be sitting there having a conversation like this. Like the fact that you allow these women around you with cell phones, knowing they have ill intentions. They want to be famous first. The fact that this lady put the business in the streets, knowing that you are going to cut her off and not want to do business. She did all that for a whole $2,000. If you just shut the fuck up, sweetheart, you get more. It's better to attract bees with honey than vinegar. Take your money, shut your mouth. You sit here recording me while I'm trying to have a regular ass conversation with you. And then I see it on the gram, you bragging because you got a whole $2,000. I'm cutting you off. I'm going to the next OnlyFans. I don't care what he like. I understand what he like. But the problem is he's getting the same drama that he would from a regular chick. I expect this from regular working girls. Get into your feelings, want to blast me. The strippers, the 304s, the Instagram slutties, the OnlyFans now. You pay them to shut up because they usually be quiet. They about their business. Get their money, stack it up, no problem. Now it seems like the hoes got the biggest mouths. All I can tell you, brother, you gotta let it go. Go get you another hoe. Just get you another. Hey, Zion, there's more. Hey, listen, do celebrities. Right, dude, just go get you one of them celebrity girls, man. Trust me, they do the same thing. They do the same thing. They gonna pop it. They gonna pop it and they're not gonna tell.
Is this? You said this about Ja, like he got drafted at a certain age mentally.
Mm-hmm.
He's stuck in that age. Is Zion in that same category? He's stuck mentally as it comes to with these women because it's like 4 at this point.
Hey man, look, don't let them fool you. All of us, we all was within a category. We didn't have OnlyFans when we was growing up. If we did, we would be in the same boat. We had the strip clubs and Black Men magazine. And I can tell you right now, when the new one dropped, we was in the back looking for the contact or how to book you for an event. Yeah, we knew how to contact you back then. Had MySpace popping. We found you. We had to do, but we had the heart. It wasn't right there for us like it is here. We had Backpage. Come on, slide through. $250. Yeah, we had what we had? Miami. We had Tootsie's. Oh yeah, take your ugly friend to Tootsie's. You was the man. All the off the boat girls that didn't speak English. $200. Go have fun. So we did the same thing. So none of us is gonna knock him for it. He's just picking the wrong ones. You got to put some rules on him. First rule: shut your fucking mouth. Shit. Man, you might want to get him cash now. Oh. Zion, look, here's a trick. That's your BM, right? All money you give, put it as child support. So if she ever take you to court or anything, you already have documented that all money is child support. Never give it to them just to give it to them. Write it down as child support, because if they ever take you, there's no back years or some shit. There's no retro with you if you write it. You can go back now and put it child support. Shit, don't worry about it, player. I got you.
But what did y'all used to tell that one teammate that just he kind of kept getting out of pocket? Like you knew he was doing it way too dirty. Like, all right, we kind of going crazy, but you doing too much.
Okay. Ours was wilder then because we had to be in public then, right? So we in the strip clubs with them wilding out, in the clubs with them wilding out, right? The one thing that we don't see is him in public, right? Like let's not get it confused. We're not seeing Zion do these things. These girls that he's picking is filming him exposing his lifestyle, right? So his off the court lifestyle ain't actually something that the world has got to see besides the girls he's picking. He's just picking the wrong mentals of women. He's not understanding that there's character traits with certain type of women. The one that you like that's coming with this physique is not good for your brand, right? It's just the mentality of a certain one, right? You want the one, you look at her Instagram, she don't have a lot of pictures, she don't do, those are the ones. The quiet ones, someone that had fathers, right? Go after them, right? They got something to lose, go after them, right? They're quiet, they just want to get in and get out. They're out there, just picking the wrong batch, that's all.
Okay, last thing, let's cover this OKC preview. All right, so on the season, Gil, OKC has dropped 3 games to the San Antonio Spurs. SGA says that he's not thought about the game coming up. You know, they'll be ready. They're willing to win. But what has San Antonio done to essentially crack that OKC code 3 games in a row?
Okay, look, let's just be honest. They have a defender that stops SGA from doing what he wants to do, right? You have Wemby. So if SGA is a mid-range guy and a guy who likes to get to the lane, right? He don't shoot a lot of threes. Now you're entering the Megalodon's area, where now when SGA goes in there, he has to think about a guy who actually can defend what he's doing. All of them, they are drive guys. So with just being Wemby out there changes this game. against them, right? Them in particular, because most of those guys want to get to the basket, right? So all you're doing is funneling them there, making those guys now pass and kick when they want to get to the basket, hit the midi and do all that stuff, right? And then when you have Wemby, his matchup against Chet, he's been dominating that one, which that takes Chet out the game because now Chet has a guy who has an advantage over him. Usually Chet has the advantage shooting his shot, making his. He has somebody that trumps him. So defensively, you have one guy who kind of has the key to that team. Listen, one is a champion, proven champion, dominated. Right now, they're 32 and what? 32 and 33 and 7. One team has their number in the regular season. Doesn't mean Spurs is a championship team. There's nobody out here saying Spurs is a championship team. They're going to win a championship because they beat OKC in the regular season. Remember when the Bulls was winning? There was a team that beat them. When Golden State was winning, there was teams that beat them. When Miami won a championship, there was teams that beat them. Don't mean during the postseason that's going to be the same story. Regular season is regular season, postseason is postseason. Just like you said, they asked him, he hasn't even thought about the game. They have not even thought about the game. Obviously, Spurs has thought about the game because to them, the game means something. Because to them, all the confidence that they get helps them moving forward. It helps the Spurs with confidence, but it doesn't do anything to OKC when it comes to second guessing, are they champions and are they going to repeat? It doesn't do anything to them because they're just playing the schedule. This team is coming. We play this team today. We play that team tomorrow. When we go to them, we're going to scout them then. I don't give a fuck. They've been scouting us for 3 days. That's their problem. We're scouting who we're scouting when we come play them. That's our routine. We're not gonna defer from that. Yeah, we're 0-3 against them. Cool. Right now, we're number 1 in the.
All right, so on the season, Gil, OKC has dropped 3 games to the San Antonio Spurs. SGA says he's not thought about the game coming up. You know, they'll be ready. They're willing to win. But what has Antonio done to crack that OKC code 3 games in a row?
Okay, look, let's just be honest. They have a defender that stops SGA from doing what he wants to do, right? You have Wemby. So if SGA is a mid-range guy and a guy who likes to get to the lane, right? He don't shoot a lot of threes. Now you're entering the Megalodon's area, where now when SGA goes in there, he has to think about a guy who actually can defend what he's doing. All of them, they are drive guys. So with just being Wemby out there changes this game against them, right? Them in particular, because most of those guys want to get to the basket, right? So all you're doing is funneling them there, making those guys now pass and kick when they want to get to the basket, hit the midi and do all that stuff, right? And then when you have Wemby, his matchup against Chet, he's been dominating that one, which that takes Chet out the game because now Chet has a guy who has an advantage over him. Usually Chet has the advantage shooting his shot, making his. He has somebody that trumps him. So defensively, you have one guy who kind of has the key to that team. Listen, one is a champion, proven champion, dominated. Right now, they're 32 and what? 32 and 33 and 7. One team has their number in the regular season. Doesn't mean Spurs is a championship team. There's nobody out here saying Spurs is a championship team. They're going to win a championship because they beat OKC in the regular season. Remember when the Bulls was winning? There was a team that beat them. When Golden State was winning, There was teams that beat them. When Miami won their championship, there was teams that beat them. Don't mean during the postseason that's going to be the same story. Regular season is regular season, postseason is postseason. Just like you said, they asked him, he hasn't even thought about the game. They have not even thought about the game. Obviously, Spurs has thought about the game because to them, the game means something. Because to them, all the confidence that they get helps them moving forward. It helps the Spurs with confidence, but it doesn't do anything to OKC when it comes to second guessing, are they champions and are they going to repeat? It doesn't do anything to them because they're just playing the schedule. This team is coming. We play this team today. We play that team tomorrow. When we go to them, we're going to scout them then. I don't give a fuck. They've been scouting us for 3 days. That's their problem. We're scouting who we're scouting when we come play them. That's our routine. We're not gonna defer from that. Yeah, we're 0-3 against them. Cool. Right now, we're number one in the NBA for a reason. Them beating us doesn't give them number one. It just gives them another win on their belt and bragging rights. And then when the playoffs come, y'all are going to say, hey, this team has beat them 3-1 or all four swept us. Are they going to do that in the playoffs? That's when it counts. So, listen, we done got enough of an example of what this team brings, what they've done. They've shown last year. They lost this game, came back, beat a team by damn 40 in the playoffs. So I don't second guess what OKC is going to bring. I don't care if they lose the next one. None of it matters until the playoffs. The playoffs is where it is.
That's interesting.
Cavs was easy work for us in regular season. Playoffs games, LeBron James was a whole different human being, right? And that's just the way it is, right? Because in the playoffs, we take away your strengths and you have to play to your weaknesses. And who can play to their weaknesses the best? That's how that is. So
We do see that both of them, average age of Spurs is 26, average age of 25 on OKC. Two very young teams. Right now, OKC first seed, Spurs second seed, and then down low, really on the perimeter, Chet and Wemby are at each other's head every single game. It's okay to say this is the next big NBA rivalry, right?
is this a rivalry?
Oh wow, you don't think beating somebody 3 times in the regular season makes you a rival?
Because you beat me 3 times in the regular season makes you a rival. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm first in the West or in the NBA, and you are last in the NBA, and you beat me 3 times, are we a rival? Okay, so what then makes it a rival then? Rival is usually years of battling against each other, not a season, right? Years, right? So what happened last year between the two? What happened the year before the two, right? You just can't say this year because you got our number in these games. That's not a rival. Years is years. So this could be start of a rival, but it's not a rival. And then the age. Okay, there's a. Let me add it up real quick, because it's very misleading. So what was the average age? 26?
26 for the Spurs, 25 for OKC.
Okay, so the star players for OKC is 26. The guys who actually play in the game, right? Mm-hmm. Spurs is a lot younger because the people who play in the game, right? So when you're talking about the average age, yeah, you got to remember the players that sit on the bench at 20, 21, 20, they bring the age down. Right? When you talk about the top guys on the team, 31 for there's 31, 26, 27, 27, 23, 26. Right? Now, when you talk about the Spurs, they're going to be a lot younger. Right? They're going to be a lot younger. Their average age will be, you got Harrison Barnes, 33. Right? Then you got 21, 24, you got 28, 19, For sale 25. Where's Wimby at? Wimby 22. Right? So that's really how you do the age. It's the people who actually are playing the minutes and affecting the game, not the overall of the roster. You know.
We'll see how this pans out going forward.